Hello, this tutorial will give you a quick start to using the software. I'd like to first point out that you do have access to a tutorial manual right within the software by clicking here on Help and then clicking on Tutorials. You will be required to follow some of the tutorials in this software manual. So if you see a lesson that mentions the tutorial manual PDF, this is the document I'm referring to. I'd also like to point out that I'm working on a PC. So when I mention keyboard shortcuts, they will be a little bit different if you're a Mac user. You can check for information about keyboard shortcuts by clicking on Help and then Help. And in this document, you will find information about keyboard shortcuts for PC and for Mac. If you don't already have a new blank file started in the program, click on File and New. The next thing that you want to do is make sure that all of your tools are reset and that all your styles are reset. You'll find that you need to do this frequently, so get accustomed to doing a reset on the tools and the styles. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, do a right mouse button click and then choose Reset All Tools. Over here in the Style menu, click on this Reset button. Let's look at some of the features now in the software. Over here we've got the Tools palette, which sometimes I call the Tools menu. There's Draw, Fill, Layer, Camera, and Workspace. Over here is the Style menu, which I also sometimes call the Style palette. And below that is the Layers menu, which again, sometimes I use the word palette. Let's start out by drawing a basic shape. In the Tools menu here, choose the Draw Shape icon. And then up here in the settings, you have different shapes to choose from. So let's choose the oval. Let's change the color by going to the swatches over here in the Style and click on the yellow. Now move your mouse pointer over to the stage area. Hold the left mouse button down and pull. So there's your shape. And you can see that you can change the shape of the oval or more towards a circle. And I'm doing a lot of these. I'm going to show you how to delete these to start over. Over here in the Tools menu, click on Transform Points. Then you can select each one and press Delete key on your keyboard to remove them. Now I'm going to go back over here to the Draw Shape tool to reactivate that. I'll hold down the Shift and the Alt key on my keyboard now, click with my left mouse button down, and you'll see that this draws it from center and it keeps it a perfect circle shape. Now if I just hold Shift down, it keeps the perfect circle shape, but it's not drawing it from center anymore. If I hold Alt down, now it's drawing it from center, but it's not keeping the perfect circle shape. All right, so this gives you control when you might need it. I'm going to go back over here now to Transform Points icon, and I'll select these individually and push the Delete key on my keyboard. If you need to pause the video to catch up, this would be a good time. We're going to do a couple of different things with just one shape, and so we're going to start out with one just in the center. Going back over to Draw Shape again, and ensuring that you have that oval selected, hold Shift and Alt down, and then draw a circle about this size in the center. There are a couple of different ways that you can change the colors of shapes, and I'll show you one right now. That's with the paint bucket. I'll go over here and choose a green from the swatches. Then, in the Tools menu, underneath the word Fill, there's a bucket, the paint bucket. Click on that icon, and then point over top of this filled yellow area and click once. Now you'll see that checkerboard that's only indicating that the shape is active, and you'll learn a lot more about that as time goes by. For now, if you want to go over here and click on the Transform Points tool again, and then click once in just a blank area somewhere right here, that deactivates the shape. So you can see that it did fill with the green that I chose. Now let's do a very simple little animation so that you can get familiar with the timeline. The timeline is down here, and what you see here is a ruler with numbers, and these numbers indicate frame numbers. There's a line right here, which yours may not be blue, depending on how you set up your software, but you can click on this line and drag it, okay? And as you do, you'll see this right here, which shows the frame you're at. You'll see this change so that it shows you which frame you're at. All right, this right here is the total number of frames, and we'll get more into this later. But right now we're going to go to frame 36. So you can either hold your left mouse button down, click and drag this scrub bar around, or you can just type 36 right here into that field. Go to the Tools and click on the Transform Points icon. And then you're going to choose only this one point right down here. When I click on it, you can see that it's gotten highlighted in red. Let me zoom in, and you can see this little point highlighted in red. I'm going to click away once, and then it deactivated it. All right. You can see that there are other points on this circle. Here's one here. All right, there's one here at the top. So there's 4 points that are making up this circle. And you're going to get very used to looking at points and hearing me talk about them. At the moment, you just want to activate only this one point. Hold your left mouse button down and push it up until your shape looks something like this. Now we're going to use the Transform Layer icon, and it's over here underneath the word Layer. Click on that, and we're going to rotate this shape. In order to do that, you have to look at this bounding box that appeared, and you'll see that you get a tiny little mouse pointer, and with that, if you move it around, you can see that the mouse pointer has a curved line with a little arrow, and if you move it, you can see that it's got a diagonal line with 2 arrows at the end. So you want to move it around until you find the one that shows the curved line with the arrow at the end. Then you can click with the left mouse button and pull, and just rotate it however much you want to. Then we're going to go back to the timeline, and we're going to go to frame 72. You can drag that scrub bar to 72 or type 72 in here. Now we'll just reset everything that we changed. For one, go up here to the word Draw in the main menu and choose Reset All Points. And then over here under Angle, to the right of it, click that Reset button. All right, the circle is back to where it started. Now let's change the total number of frames to 80. So you type 80 in this field right here. Click on the Rewind button and push play. Now you'll see that the animation plays through all the way to frame 80 and starts back over again at frame 0. That's it for the warm-up. You don't have to save this file, and you can move on to the next tutorial.